But I want to ask you, I want to do like a little mock draft sort of of the mid-season draft.
Okay.
A little mock draft and
Of sorts.
what the latest whispers could be around
I always
the
get the
mid-season
questions,
one.
do a phantom draft for the mid-season. I'm not going to do that, but this is a mock draft of sorts because there are some whispers heading into Wednesday night, and a number of these players that we've talked about on the show previously. Ryan Merrick kicked another 2 goals in the VFL over the weekend, so showed more of his talent there, half forward from Gippsland. West Coast, of course, has the number 1 pick.
Yep.
He's been viewed as a nominal number 1 pick or contender for a little while now. I think if he didn't get picked by West Coast, then he's getting snapped up by North Melbourne at pick 2, and then Hawthorn at pick 3 if he got through that far. But I don't think he will. Half forward, 193 centimetres, great kick. West Coast also looked at other options though, so I don't think it's an absolute lock that he's definitely going there as of this moment as we record. Hasn't been a one-horse race. James Trezise from Richmond's VFL side has been linked, as has local pair Robert Hansen and Jack Buller as well. So those are the names that get thrown up a lot. North Melbourne gets linked to Clay Tucker, the ruckman from the Eastern Rangers, a fair bit. I'm not as sold on that one. I don't necessarily think it goes that way. Hawthorn has had a close look at Ethan Stanley as well. The wingman flanker has played in their Box Hill Hawks lineup as well.
A long history of taking them from Box Hill as well.
Yeah, they do, and they've had success doing that. So I think it's worked for them, that pathway. Start in the Young Guns game and the second one against Vic Country too. Richmond has been linked a bit to Jaden Hunter, the WA prospect who kicked 5 goals on the weekend, a key forward.
Jaden Hunt.
no, he's already over in the West. Jaden Hunter is in Western Australia, kicked 5 goals over the weekend, but a little to Jack Buller as well, the Tigers, another powerful player in the waffle competition. Hunter's also attracted a little bit of interest from Essendon, which would make sense given I think they're a little bit short in that depth at the key forward lengths. And Lockie Burrows is another one there that potentially for the Bombers. Ry Penny's been mentioned a little bit too, a runner from the Calder Cannons from them. James Trezise, the Tigers VFL talent, is another who could catch the interest of Richmond. GWS has had a look at him as well. GWS now has pick 5, so they have 2 open selections.
Yep.
I don't know if they're certain to pick anyone, and that could also be the case with other clubs. I think there's a maximum around about 17 picks at the moment. I'm not sure we hit 17 players picked, but there could be a few that pass if their players aren't there. Clay Tucker's in the mix for the Giants as well, I think, as a young ruckman to boost their stocks on that front. He's been really impressive this year. Giants are in that group that are interested in him. Essendon as well. We'll have a look. Fremantle's done work on Hansen, but I'm not sure he gets through to their selection at this point. He's a speedster. The Cats have been looking at talls. They had a little bit of a look at Will Elliott, the brother of Sam Elliott, son of Matt Elliott as well, the former cricketer. I think that's probably more unlikely for the Cats at this point, but they've also done their work on Sam Naismith, obviously former Swan, the ruckman there. 206 centimetre ruckman. Flynn Riley's another one that they've had a look at too, the Cats. So that's on that front. A couple more before we finish up there. The Swans could have up to 3 selections, so a chance for them to bolster their unit and just their depth as well. They're getting smacked in the VFL at times too, so build up their general squad. Oscar McDonald remains a chance there to get his 3rd shot in an AFL career. Obviously, previously been at Melbourne and Carlton. Harry Arnold is another who may head to Sydney too. Brisbane's VFL side, 24-year-old tall defender, formerly of the Gold Coast Academy, so didn't play on the weekend for the Lions VFL side. Another one to keep an eye on with the Swans is Marty Hall, the ex-Demon, as is Angus Schumacher, the ex-Blue, who is playing some good footy in the Waffle, so for East Perth. Bulldogs have been linked a little bit to Hall as well, as have they with Mutaz El Nur, VFL interceptor in the VFL there for Richmond. So there's a few names.
So 11 clubs have picks as things stand. Obviously, they could open up more before Wednesday night. That's coming to you all live and exclusively on afl.com.au.
As close as we get to a mock draft.